which are approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals. A representative would need to be present at the Board of Commissioners zoning hearing on Tuesday, September 20th, 2016, at 9 o'clock in the morning for the final determination. With that, Mr. Chairman, ready to start the consent agenda. Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals zoning hearing consent agenda for August 10th, 2016. Variance case V92, Sean Hospitality LLC requests a variance to waive the maximum building height from 4 stories to 6 stories. We have the front setback from required 50 feet to 47 feet. We have the rear setback from required 30 feet to 10 feet. We have the setback for a dumpster from required 5 feet to 2 feet adjacent to the northern property line. We have the maximum floor area ratio for retail uses from 0.25 to 0.33, and increase the maximum allowable impervious surface from 80% to 92.3% in land lot 880 of the 17th district. The property is located off an easement off Spring Road. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V92? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V98, Jackson Contracting Incorporated. Request a variance to waive the side setback from required 12 feet to 8 feet adjacent to the eastern property line in land lot 1100 of the 17th district. The property is located on the south side of Palm Tree Beacher Drive, east of Atlanta Country Club Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to site plan review comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V98? Mr. Chairman, there's 2 people opposed. We're going to pull that one.
Okay, we will pull case V98, and we'll hear that as it comes up in its regular numeric order. All right, let's skip to next one, the 99.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I need to go back to the first one we heard, V92. I forgot to read in that that's recommended for approval by the staff, subject to the letter from Mr. Parks Huff dated August 8th, 2016.
Very good.
Variance case V99, Karim Dilakia requests a variance to waive the rear setback from required 30 feet to 19 feet in land lot 958 of the 16th district. The property is located on the north side of Valley Park Court, west of Sawmill Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to encroachments as shown on the site plan received by the zoning division on June 7, 2016. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V99? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V100, Ashu Segal requests a variance to waive the maximum building height from required 35 feet to 37 feet in land lot 974 of the 17th district. Property is located on the northwest corner of Teton Drive and Cochise Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V100? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V101, Providence Homes LLC requests a variance to waive the side setback from required 25 feet to 24 feet in land lot 215 of the 20th district. The property is located on the northeast corner of Tayside Crossing and Rosapena Lane. Staff recommends approval, subject to the site plan received by the zoning division on June 8, 2016. Site plan review comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V101? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V102, Sean P. Searles and Diane M. Searles request a variance to waive the maximum allowable impervious surface from 40% to 62% in land lots 227 and 230 of the 20th district. The property is located on the south side of Downington Place, west of Brookside Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. And prior to permitting, applicant must provide approval from the golf course owner regarding being in the golf course easement. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V102? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V103, Bobby H. Caldwell requests a variance to waive the side setback for an accessory structure over 650 square feet for an approximately 1,232 square foot garage required 100 feet to 49 feet adjacent to the southeastern property line in land lot 119 of the 20th District. Property is located on the east side of Hill Road, northwest of Mars Hill Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to the site plan received by the zoning division on June 9, 2016, and no commercial use of the dwelling, no commercial use or dwelling use of the accessory building. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V103? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V104, VC Town Park Development, LLC. Request a variance to waive the minimum number of parking spaces from 142 parking spaces to 119 parking spaces in land lots 431 and 432 of the 16th District. The property is located on the north side of Chastain Road, south of Town Park Lane, the east side of Busby Drive, and the west side of George Busby Parkway. Staff recommends approval, subject to traffic comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V104? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V105, Patrick Paul and Michelle Paul request a variance to allow a second electrical and water meter on a residential property and to allow an accessory structure, a 4,200 square foot storage building, and approximately 1,375 square foot barn to be to the side and front of the principal building in land lot 131 of the 20th District. The property is located on the north side of Ben King Road, west of McComb Parkway, and at the southern terminus of Paradise Lane. Staff recommends approval, subject to traffic comments and no commercial or dwelling use of the accessory buildings. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V105? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V106, Newtown Properties LLC, request a variance to waive the side setback from required 10 feet to 8 feet adjacent to the western property line in land lot 191 of the 20th District. The property is located on the northwest corner of Farm Scenic View and Farmland Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to site plan review comments. Is the applicant here? Is the applicant here for V106? Oh,
I think Mr. Parkshoff can represent.
no, I think Kevin Moore's
Oh,
back.
no, I'm sorry. There's Kevin. Okay.
Is there anyone here
Thank you.
opposed to V106? Let the record show no one opposed. Variance case V107, INOP Acquisitions LLC, request a variance to allow the building to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer, to allow a building to extend 75 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer, allow a parking lot to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer, and allow parking to extend 21.3 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer in land lot 942 and 943 of the 17th District. Property is located on the southeast side of Interstate North Parkway, south of Interstate North Parkway East. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V107?
John, can we just add all these cases together instead of reading them all in?
No, we need to read them all in.
We need to roll them in. Okay, let's keep going then.
Let the record show no one opposed. Variance case V108, INOP Acquisitions LLC, request a variance to waive the maximum building height from 52 feet to 63.4 feet, and to waive the maximum number of building stories from 4 stories to 5 stories in land lots 918 and 943 of the 17th District. The property is located on the south side of Interstate North Parkway, east of Interstate North Parkway West. Staff recommends approval, subject to traffic comments. The applicant's representative is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case of V108? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case of V109, INOP Acquisitions LLC, request a variance to waive the maximum building height from required 52 feet to 66.8 feet for building 320. Waive the maximum number of building stories from required 4 stories to 5 stories for building 320. Waive the maximum building height from 52 feet to 54.7 feet for building 340, and waive the maximum building height from 52 feet to 57.6 feet for building 380 in land lots 982, 983, 944, and 945 of the 17th District. Property is bounded by Windy Ridge Parkway, Interstate North Circle, and Interstate North Parkway. Staff recommends approval, subject to traffic comments. The applicant's representative is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V109? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V110, INOP Acquisitions LLC requests a variance to waive the front setback from required 50 feet to 12 feet, allow the building to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer, allow the building to extend 24.8 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer, allow the parking lot to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer, and allow the parking lot to extend 34.5 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer in land lot 983 of the 17th District. The property is located on the east side of Interstate North Circle, south of Windy Ridge Parkway, and north of Cumberland Boulevard. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. The applicant's representative is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V110? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V111, INOP Acquisitions LLC, request a variance to waive the minimum number of required parking spaces by 7 for buildings 294 and 296. Waive the side setback from required 15 feet to 6.1 feet adjacent to the eastern property line for building 294. Waive the rear setback from required 30 feet to 29 feet adjacent to the northern property line for building 294. Allow the building to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer for building 294. Allow the building to extend 36 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer for building 294. Waive the side setback from required 15 feet to 13.8 feet adjacent to the eastern property line for building 296. Waive the front setback from required 50 feet to 36.3 feet adjacent to the southern property line for building 296. Allow the building to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer for building 296. Allow the building to extend 13.3 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer for building 296. Allow the parking lot to extend 25 feet into the 25-foot impervious buffer, and allow the parking lot to extend 33.5 feet into the 75-foot stream buffer in land lot 983 of the 17th District. Property is located on the east side of Interstate North Circle, north of Cumberland Boulevard, and on the south side of Windy Ridge Parkway. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. The applicant's representative is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V111? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V112, Midway Presbyterian Church Incorporated, request a variance to waive the maximum height for a sign for a non-residential use in a residential zone from required 8 feet to 16 feet in land lots 12, 13, 62, and 63 of the 19th District. The property is located at the southwest intersection of Midway Road and Dallas Highway. Staff recommends approval, subject to the sign renderings contained in the variance analysis, with the zoning division manager approving the final rendering. Is the applicant present? Is the applicant here for V112, Midway Presbyterian Church? Okay. The applicant's representative is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V112? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V113, Henry C. Nygren III, request a variance to waive the minimum public road frontage from requires 75 feet to 73 feet for proposed lots 1 and 2, and land lots 1030 and 1043 of the 19th District. The property is located on the south side of Hill Road, east of the Forest Farm Trail. Staff recommends approval, subject to the final plat to be reviewed and approved by the Community Development Agency. Is the applicant present? I'd like to record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed?
Can you confirm again where we're supposed to appear on the 20th at 9 o'clock?
I will, hold on for 1 second. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V113? Let the record show there's none opposed. And ma'am, you can come back to this room on September 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we have one more hearing on it.
And what is that hearing? What type of hearing is that?
That's the Board of Commissioners. They have to give the final approval on this, so it's essentially just an approval process, but you have to be here that morning at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions? Just see us after the meeting. It won't be too much longer. Okay. Very good, John. With the exception of V98, it's back to this board for discussion. Is there any comments about any of the consent applications? Any comments at all? Then I'll entertain a motion.
Yes.
Speak, speak up. I gotta get you.
Yeah,
on the-
my question was for V107 through V111. All those variances were for those structures only, right? For the existing structures, okay. I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay, John's agreed, Dee's agreed. Any other comments on anything that we have heard? If not, I'll entertain a motion. I'll entertain a
Make a
motion.
motion, we approve consent agenda with the exception of V98 as presented.
Okay, and I've got a second. No other comments? Call for the vote. There we go. We're all learning our new votes. Okay, Madam Secretary, that is approval of 5-0. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that were here, that were on the consent agenda, your business is complete with us for today. You're welcome to stay, but you're welcome to leave. So as you leave, please leave quietly, and we will continue with our business. Okay, John, we've got two cases to hear. That's V88 and
Yes, sir.
V98.
Yes, sir. Variance case V88, Bernice K. Schmitz requests a variance to waive the rear setback from required 35 feet to 15 feet in land lot 141 of the First District. The property is located on the west side of Colony Drive, South Lake Colony Drive. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V88? Let the record show there's two people opposed.
Two in opposition.
All those wishing to address the board, please come forward to be sworn in.
Okay, now, as you're coming up, everybody pay attention to what I'm going to say for case V88 and V98. Our process is this. Our officer today is Ms. Kim Wakefield. She's going to bring you forward. She's going to swear you in. At that time, the applicant will have a 10-minute period to make their presentation known to this board. And you will have that 10-minute period. You will come to the podium and give us a 10-minute talk on why you want the application. Likewise, and collectively, those that are here in opposition, you also will have a 10-minute period to let us know your opposition to these particular cases. So be cognizant of the fact that you only have a 10-minute period. If you have more than one speaker, just recognize that you only have a 10-minute period, okay? With that said, on case V88, we're asking you to come forward. Those that are going to give testimony in just case V88, and Ms. Wakefield will swear you in. All right. First thing we're going to do, I need to get your name for the record, please, sir.
Good morning or afternoon. I'm Richard Hall, and I'm Ms. Schmidt's architect.
Okay, Mr. Hall, and
This is Mrs. Smith.
but let
I'm
her
Denise
introduce herself.
Schmitz, the applicant.
Okay, very well. Go ahead, Mr. Hall.
All right, well, I was not here at the last meeting in July, unfortunately. And Mr. Smith, who is with IBM, was out of the country and still is out of the country. And so Mrs. Smith was sort of left in the lurch. And I have seen the tape of the meeting, and we have made some revisions to the plan. We have reduced our request from 15 feet to 20 feet. And the building is now horizontally front to back rather than lengthwise from front to back. It has, I hope you have the drawings. I have some here if you
No,
do
but
not.
I'll tell you what, just for the sake of it, if you would give the drawings to this gentleman right here, he will put them up on the board, and everybody will be able to see
You
what you
might want
have.
to tear it apart. We have two sections.
Just give him 1 second to get them up on the screen, and then
Okay.
you can explain them to us. All right, I guess we need to have, there you go,
There
that's a
you
little
go.
better. Now, we'll give you a microphone and a pointer. If you want to stand next to that picture and explain to us what we're looking at, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah, this is Colony Drive here. This is the present residence here, and this is our requested addition workshop at the rear of the property. we have basically a 400 square foot building. We have a garage door. Mr. Schmidt has got a tractor mower that he now parks in the backyard under a tarp, and he wants cover for it. And he wants a workshop. He is considering retirement, as we all are, and this is a recreational endeavor for him. When they bought the house 2 years ago, if it had had a basement, the workshop would be in the basement. Unfortunately, it's slab on grade, and you can't build anything except outside that space. So we put it in the backyard, out of sight, and basically it's a 20 by 23 foot space. We have paving going up to the garage door, so he can get his tractor in and out. And other than that, it is what it is. If there are any questions, I'll try to answer.
You still have a period of time. Is there anything else you want to tell us? You said paving. Is that concrete? Is it pavers?
Yes, sir, it's a driveway.
Okay, okay. So you reduced the footprint from the last, you want to explain
Well, I
that
haven't
to us?
reduced it, it's still the same square footage, but it's now front to back, a 5 foot different,
Closer,
right.
okay.
And the paving is just wide enough, it's a driveway. So,
All right, our process is that you have to tell us. We cannot ask you questions until later on. So you
I
gotta
don't know
get it-
what else to say.
Get it all out at the same time. You're going to do any landscaping on this house?
Yeah. Yeah, the paving, the concrete paving is, we've got just enough to be able to maneuver from the existing driveway to the addition. And we're not talking about I-75 here. We're talking about a tractor that he's going to be,
I understand.
moving in and out. Other than that, I think it's a one-story building.
Is it going to match the house?
Pardon?
Is it going to match the house?
Yes, sir. The exterior will blend in and match exactly the existing facility.
Are you going to do any new landscaping?
Yes. I mean, Mr. Smith is a farmer at heart. That's why he's got a tractor. And so he will be landscaping it.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
I don't think there's anything else to say.
All right, ma'am, is there anything you would like to add to that?
No, that's really all.
Okay, so you took into consideration after the last meeting, the comments that were made, both sides, and from this board, you've gone back and redone it. That's essentially what you've
Right,
done.
because I made a mistake with the size. I thought that you had the plan, but obviously you didn't have the dimensions. You only had the square footage of the original plan.
We've got it all now.
But now it's all corrected.
Anything else you want to add? You still have a couple minutes left.
I can't think of anything.
Okay, fair enough. If you would, just
All
go
right,
have a
thank
seat.
you.
Just have a seat, and we will talk to the opposition, and then we may ask you to come back up. All right, sir, again, we need to start off with your name.
Yeah, hello, Commissioners. Mark Wogaski, live at 4951 Bannister Place in Camden Place, 30068. So first I want to say to the Schmidts, thanks for taking into consideration, the setback and all that. The question, though, comes up to me now that I've had a little bit of time to look at it. There's really two major questions. One is, why this addition couldn't be on the front end of the house where the driveway is, replacing perhaps the current garage with the workshop. It doesn't appear from the drawings and the I don't know what you call it, I'm not an engineer, but the slope in that particular area would cause any hardship. So that's the first one. But the second one is actually more questions coming up, is that this is a workshop, and one of the comments about the drive was to be able to pull trucks around for delivery. Now, I don't know what that means. I mean, is this going to be a business? It doesn't say it's a business. I heard the description of what, the Mr. Schmidt is going to be doing there, but certainly am concerned. And then I guess to add on to that, the question about any kind of landscaping for a buffer in between. I heard he was a farmer, but, specifically, do they have intentions of putting any kind of a buffer, evergreens or anything in between?
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add to that, Mark?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Yeah, we identified at the last meeting where you live, and if you would, our IT man is circling your house. Is that correct? Is that where you live? Based on
Yes,
that?
sir. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you'd like to tell us, Mark?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right, sir, if you would, just have a seat.
Yep.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Jill Flam. I'm with East Cobb Civic Association, and I'd like to reiterate what Mr. Wagaski has said. We appreciate the applicant has revisited the site plan and is reducing the size of the addition. However, we are concerned that this addition has been called many things. It was called a garage, it was called storage, it was called a utility room, and now it is a workshop that needs a side door for the delivery of materials. We recommend that a stipulation be added that does not allow this new addition to be used for a business. We also recommend, as there is now room in the setback, that a double row of evergreens be added to screen the new addition from the neighbors in Camden Place. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else wish to speak in opposition to this particular case, V88? Hearing and not seeing anybody, it's back to this board for discussion. And at this time, Ms. D. Gay, who represents the district, will lead us in that discussion. Ms. Gay.
Well, first, I personally don't see any problems with them having to put in a tractor and making it a workshop, because you have to put somewhere, you have to use it as a garage if you're gonna use a tractor in. I mean, that's what I would do if I had this kind of building. Also, if it's a hobby, half of the shop should be a hobby shop, and I will have the same thing. If one, like I use a lot of my things, I don't shop anymore. I order everything online and it gets shipped to my house. I'm not running a business either, when I get a shipment from UPS or whatever. I just don't see any problems with it. If the applicant wants to put some buffer or some trees there or something so that Mr. Mark doesn't have to look at the pretty building, it is fine with me. I recommend that we just approve the building with this kind of,
Okay, we're still in the discussion stage.
oh, we are?
Any other comments from
That's my,
board members? Ms. Trombetti?
Pushing the wrong button. Just an observation while we were looking at the new plan. It looks like the encroachment into the setback is 300 square feet. That's the part of the new building that will be the variance. And that's 300 square feet out of a little over 4,500 square feet of setback area. So it's a very small encroachment. I think this could be approved subject to this improvement only.
yes.
So that they can't take it all the way across. And as far as driving back and being able to deliver things, I think a lot of people, it's really no different to me than people who have a double gate on their fence, because, a lot of times you might anticipate needing to deliver things to your backyard, for instance. And it's always nice to have a gate that's wide enough to drive a truck through if necessary. And this is a similar scenario to me. I'm not concerned about it being a business. If we stipulate no business, that's what it is. A lot of people have hobbies, and I don't necessarily see any reason to think that it's anything other than a hobby. But again, just an observation about what we're really talking about. It's 300 square feet of encroachment on a 4,500 square foot area of setback. I don't think it's very intruding.
Very good point. Anybody else might want to make a comment? Skip?
Yeah, I would just like to add to that, to say that I think, based on what we heard last time and what we heard today, today's proposal represents, to me, a very satisfying kind of a compromise, and it seems like it's pretty straightforward to move from here.
I don't see any problem. I'm ready for a motion. Let's get a motion on the floor.
I move to approve the 88 according, and with the comments,
Staff comments, yes.
staff comments.
And to include no business and no living
Oh,
out of it.
yeah, no, yeah,
No business and no
no
living out of
business
this
and not living
garage.
addition, living, oh,
Very good.
what do you, Mr. Peterson?
Are we approving it to 15 feet or 20 feet?
20 feet,
20 feet.
Based on this site plan.
yeah, 20 feet.
Based on this site plan. Okay, I've got a motion. I've got a second.
The 20 feet was for this addition only, right?
Based on this site plan. That's
Yeah,
correct.
based on the.
Site plan specific. Motion, second. No other comments. Call for the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be approved 5-0. Okay, John Peterson, I guess I'm at 98 now, or is that right? Yes,
That's the one
90,
I
at
really
98.
need your help.
Let's hear 98.
No, he told me they have some letters. I think it was.
Skip.
Yes.
Who wants to own up to it?
Yeah.
I'm willing to be second.
Okay, the sacrificial lamb is second.
I second.
Okay, moving on.
Are you okay now, John?
I'm good.
John, would you please read into the record V98, how I can get started on that one?
Yes, sir. Variance case B98, Jackson Contracting Incorporated. Request a variance to waive the side setback from required 12 feet to 8 feet adjacent to the eastern property line in land lot 1100 of the 17th District. The property is located on the south side of Pontre Vedra Drive, east of Atlanta Country Club Drive. The applicant is present. Earlier, there were 2 people here opposed. All those wishing to address the board, please come forward to be sworn in.
Anybody who wants to give testimony, come forward. Ms. Wakefield will swear you in. All right, if the applicant will come forward. Sir, would you give us your name, please, for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Jackson.
Okay, Rick, and would you go ahead and tell us what you're here for, what you want?
Yes, the reason for the variance was because this subdivision was kind of set up and developed around 1972. This particular house that we're looking at was actually built around 84, 85. And the reason we're asking for the variance is the house is going to be going through a total renovation. Okay, it's been vacant for a while, and the owners we have a really nice floor plan, renovation plan, architectural landscaping plan, and the reason for the variance was the existing house was actually built over the site plan the setback line in 1985. So the existing house sits approximately 8.5 feet from the property line now. And that was the reason for the variance was obviously can't pull a building permit until zoning signs off on it, and they won't do it because the variance was never taken care of over the years. So that's the reason behind it. And we do have a small addition going on at the front of the house. And I can show you on this.
Okay, this is the
the sideline that we're dealing with.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. We've got to get this on the screen.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Now you could go. Show us the existing overage that's over now.
Okay, this is the existing garage that's here now, that has the X through the middle of it, okay? This represents, this is 9.7 feet, this is 8.8 feet off of the existing line. So all of this through here is existing. What we're actually proposing to do is this small addition on the front of the garage to add square footage to it, and also to this addition here in the back that's incorporated into basically takes this from a 2-car garage to a 4-car garage that's just front entry. So that's the reason behind it. Like I said, there's no, but this is the part where the X is, and is all already existing over the property line, or the setback line.
When was the house built?
85.
85. So since 85, you've been out of compliance. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Tell us what else.
Okay.
You still have a little time.
All right, this is 2 homeowners that own this house are going to be spending upwards of $500,000 or over to do this renovation. So it's a definite community improvement on this house. I mean, this is a total renovation of the house and landscaping, the yards, the entire lot will be redone. And I can, if you like, my homeowners are here. They'll be happy to address anything else. You know, they probably know more history on the house than I do, you know, because the setback lines and the surveys there are really kind of blurred over the past few years. And so, but based on the plats that we pull all the way back into the 90s and all, this has always been there since existing.
So that's essentially, that's your hardship.
Yes.
And how I'm asking questions which I shouldn't be doing, but how was the house sold with these variances not taking place? How was that done?
It was inherited.
It was an error?
It was inherited.
Oh, inherited. Oh,
Yes.
inherited. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to tell us?
That's all I have. Would y'all like to add anything?
Okay. And you're okay. That's it. If you would, sir, please have a seat. And at this time, we'll hear from the opposition.
Thank you.
My name is Anthony Delju. I'm here with my mother, Lily Delju. We have the property where the setback would obviously.
Well, is this your house there where the
house
arrow
with
is?
the pool there,
Okay.
right.
Go right ahead, sir.
First of all, I have to say there's no one in this room more excited about this renovation of this property than we are.
Right.
This property has been abandoned for the last 4 to 5 years, and we are more than ecstatic that it's finally going to be renovated and brought up to par as through this subdivision. I'm not 100% clear. My understanding, or our understanding, was that this property is already infringed on the existing or the setback in place. Our understanding that it is they're requesting an additional encroachment. If that's not the case, and if this is about building where it is exactly as, I don't think we have any objections. Our concern was they were looking to either further their setback requirements.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
That's it.
And I think we can get that answered pretty quickly.
That'd be great.
You sound like a nice new neighbor. And
But we're looking for a new neighbor.
well,
so-
we want everybody to get along.
I
Come
think so.
by, come by.
There you go.
Have a seat.
Thank
Mr. Jackson, come on back up here. Just simply answer the question. You're not asking for any additional setbacks. You're just going to where the existing.
That's correct. We're just trying to correct the wrong that was done in 1985.
Amen and praise the Lord. Don't say another word. All right, this time I declare the public session over. Let me go to Miss D. D represents this district. D, it's up to you, ma'am.
Thank you for both of you coming. I walked that property Sunday, and I was looking for the what was his name? They got Delju? Yeah, I was looking for you because I could see your property way in the back in I couldn't tell whether those arches were garages or rooms to the house, but it's quite, it's over there. I couldn't find you. But at any rate, I realized that he cannot go either way. So I think it will be an immense improvement to the neighborhood because they're pouring a lot of money into that house. It's a solid place, but it needs improvement. And I just don't see any problem with what they're trying to do. And good luck to you. Thank you.
I'm ready, we're ready for a motion. We're ready.
I move that we approve the application with the comments
Staff
and,
comments,
and the staff comments and,
the new architectural plans.
and the site plans that have been submitted
Right.
by the contract, by the builder.
Existing property, the setback is for the existing
For-
house
yeah.
only.
Mhm.
Okay, I've got a motion.
It's for the
well, we're-
existing house and the
For the-
addition on the site plan.
Yeah,
Yes,
which would be shown on the site plan as presented.
right,
Yeah.
whatever's on the plan, yes.
Okay, guys, let's, let's we're like a bunch of chattering
I
old
would
girls
second
up
that.
here. Let's
Okay.
stay together. I've got a motion and the letter and the survey, the new site plan
Yes,
reflects that.
reflects-
I've got a
yeah.
motion. Do I have a second to that motion? Okay, Skip is going to be the second. Everybody recognize Skip? Any other comments? Not hearing any. I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by hitting your little buttons. Yes, yes, yes. It's 5-0. You folks hold hands, walk out and smile at each other. We thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That is democracy at its finest. Everybody had a chance to speak, Robin, and everybody spoke their words.
No, I thought it was, I didn't either.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new transparent day in Cobb County. Let me just talk to my board members. I need you to accept the minutes from August the 8th and July the 28th. I'll entertain a motion. Thank you, Christie. Got a motion for Christie. Do I have a second? Judy's going to second this one. All those in favor, please hit your buttons. There you go, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Judy?
Judy,
Judy, Judy, I need a hitter. Okay, 5-0, ladies and gentlemen, Robin, everybody.
We already did that.
Anything else, John, you want to throw anything else into the monkey wrench? We had Officer Dave here. We certainly appreciate it. We're delighted to see a sergeant show up here because we need all the help we can get. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I thank you and we'll see you next month.